everybody. Welcome back to Awesome Autographs and More for day 5, the final day of the National, and channel episode number 133. Today we have 5 autograph guests that we saw today. The first was not a part of the VIP program. This was separate, but Mr. Chris Chambliss got a couple of Braves cards signed by him. Next up, this is a fairly large pile of Mr. Cory Snyder, and these are in no particular order. Got several cards here. He was a very nice signer, nice guy, talkative. Got a 1990 Leaf card. By now, most of you know that's my set. There's several of these from the early 90s because I just had a ton of them in my collection, and it was like, okay, time to get these done. I think that's, yep, back to the beginning. Mr. Cory Snyder. Next up is NFL and college football Hall of Famer, Mr. Bob Lilly. Got, I don't know, 6 or 8 cards here signed by him. Some old and some more recent. That's Mr. Bob Lilly. Next up, former Major League Baseball player and Cleveland favorite, Mr. Joe Charboneau. Got all 1982 cards for him, Fleer, Donruss, and Topps. In addition, we have a generic autograph card for Mr. Joe Charboneau. Last but not least, former Pittsburgh Steeler linebacker, I believe. Nope, cornerback. Close. Anyways, Mr. J.T. Thomas. Got him on, I don't know, 7 or 8 cards here. A lot of duplicates because I had some difficulties finding cards of him. So when I found them, I grabbed 2 just because I figured I might need them. And then got this Pittsburgh football generic card of his as well. That is Mr. J.T. Thomas. As I mentioned on my last video, I bought some cards at the show at a bargain box table, autographed cards at a bargain box table. When I get home, I'll get those sorted, and it'll probably get broken down into 2 or 3 videos because there's quite a few of them. But that's it for the National. I was going to try to get some footage of the show itself, but that never happened, so I apologize if anybody was looking for or expecting that. But it was overall a pretty good show. There were a couple of hiccups. I mean, the parking was, there was a fair, I think there was enough parking. It's just that there was only one way to get in and out for the most part, and the traffic just jammed up going in and coming out, depending on where you were parked, how bad it would be. For the most part, we figured it out pretty quickly to get there early and we didn't have any problems getting in at all. Most days we got a decent parking spot that wasn't the worst. I think Wednesday night it took me an hour to get out of the parking lot. Thursday, Friday, it was more like 30 minutes. Saturday, I had just gotten a prime parking spot, and it took me maybe 10 minutes to get out, which that I'm fine with. And then today, leaving, we left the show probably about 30 minutes before it closed, so we really didn't have any problem getting out at all. At most, maybe 5 minutes. So it wasn't horrible, but if you came in during the show or closer to the general public opening, because as part of the VIP program, one of the benefits you get is to go into the show floor at least a half hour early, and this morning they let us in an hour early. So that's kind of one of the big perks for buying the VIP pass is the early entry to the show. Plus you have access to a VIP lounge even before that. So we arrived every day about 8 o'clock, went into the VIP lounge, sat around, got ourselves organized for the day, and off we went when the show floor opened. But overall, as I said, it was a pretty good show. Decent autograph lineup for the VIP program. Other autograph, the paid autograph people, there were several who were first-time national appearances. I would say more than half were people who had appeared at the National several times before. Most of the people that were there are, the bigger names, Hall of Fame, people like Roger Clemens, Steve Carlton, Johnny Bench, Pete Rose. All of those players, I've got their autograph multiple times. So I really didn't have very many there that I was itching to get. So I focused my time this year on getting the VIP autographs, maximizing those opportunities, as well as spending a little bit more time on the floor, poking around, seeing what I could find. And once I found that bargain box of dollar autograph cards, I think I went back there at least twice, maybe even 3 times. And then today, after we were done with our last autograph, we took a quick run through the entire show just to see if there was anything exciting or deeply discounted or whatever. But I didn't see much. A lot of the dealers had already packed up and gone. The tables were like bare. But otherwise, like I said, it was a good show. A lot of it depends on what you collect. There's a lot of the corporate booths where they do a lot of promotional stuff and what have you, which I don't go to very often. I don't pay that much attention to it because that just adds more stuff for me to figure out how to store. Otherwise, I guess that's about it. It's as good of a recap as I can get based on what I did. But as always, I enjoy the show. Given the pluses and the minuses of every given production, it's like I always enjoy it. I go back. I will continue to go back. I would anticipate that I will be attending every national from now until I no longer can. This was, I can't remember whether it was my 17th or 18th national in total. Went to my first one back in 1991 in Anaheim, and then didn't go back again, I think, until 2000. And I pretty much did every year from 2000 up to about 2011. Took a few years off because I started running and couldn't give up my weekends of racing, heaven forbid. And then started back again in 2019, and have been going ever since. And I do enjoy it, and I'm finding that even though I skipped all those years going to the National, partially, part of the reason why I did was because, you know, the autograph guests were getting very repetitive and things like that. So I thought, taking a few years off, they might have a whole bunch of new faces. And to be honest with you, over the last 5 years, there were quite a few, but there's also, every year, there's at least 2, 3, 4 of the VIP people who have been there multiple years, which is why there are certain people in my collection where I have a gazillion autographed cards, and as well as other things, because I didn't always collect cards. Back in the earlier days, it was baseballs, footballs, helmet, you know, the mini helmets, photos, and various other miscellaneous things that I might have collected along the way. At this point, it's primarily cards, only because I've gotten to the point where I have so much stuff, I have no room for it. And at least with the cards, I can store them in binders. I have shelves for them, and it makes it a little bit easier. And the other thing is, every time I go to put a card in the binder, I get to look through the binder and see the cards I already have. So that part of it I really enjoy. But anyways, I've rambled on enough about the National in my collection. I will be headed home first thing tomorrow morning. Probably take me 2 days of driving to get there. I don't like to drive a lot in one day. So I think I've got about 11 hours of driving ahead of me. So I'll split that into 2 days, get home on Tuesday, and start putting all this stuff away. But anyways, thank you very much for watching. Thank you to the athletes for their autographs. Please hit the like button over here. The subscribe button is over here somewhere. Doesn't seem to want to pick up my finger. There it is. Subscribe button's over here in the corner. And if you would like to be notified of future videos, just ring that bell down there in the corner. Otherwise, thanks for watching, and we will see you on the next episode. Bye-bye for now.